What is up, YouTube family? Welcome every single one of you individually, my brother or my sister tuning into me. I welcome your energy and send you some of my energetic love, light, and respects, family. Welcome to my whip, the Toyota, the spot where we are gonna catch this virtual smoke session together, you feel me? Bring out your ganja, your vape pens, your plug and play, stizzies, high flies, brass knuckles, your pipes, your bubblers, straight shooter, steamroller, bong, rig if you're gonna dab it, your pre-roll, blunt, joint, what the fuck have you. You already know what the fuck is up with your boy. Nothing new on this channel. Bring out your ganja, let's smoke one together, let's get big together, let's learn some shit together. Title of this fucking video, we are going to talk about and continue on the concept of psychedelics, you feel me? In particular, only talking about the psychedelic medicine of psilocybin, you feel me? Magic mushrooms. Some of us know it as the slang term shrooms. And so, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about that on this video. I decided to pull out the big-ass fucking textbook from Ben Greenfield. Shout out to Ben Greenfield Fitness, you feel me? I'm sure some of you guys know who the fuck Ben Greenfield is, but if you do not know him yet, go fucking do some research on him. Go Google him. Go YouTube search him. And find out for yourself who Ben Greenfield exactly is. This man has a really great depth of knowledge in him on overall health, spirituality, and things that have to do with personal development and personal growth. You feel me? He has actually a couple books out. I have two of his books. This is one of them, and this book is his most recent book he came out with. It's called Boundless. Upgrade your brain, optimize your body, and defy aging. And in this he has a chapter. Let me pull up the name of this chapter. He has this chapter where he talks about brain nootropics and brain enhancing substances and stimulants, you feel me? And he has like a little section devoted to microdosing with psychedelics, you feel me? And psilocybin is in there, and so I pulled out this book and wanted to read that section to us so we can have some knowledge from Ben Greenfield himself, whom is himself more reputable and a much more greater reference to dive into deeper research if you are someone whom wants to indulge in psychedelic medicines, you feel me? So, yeah, the name of this chapter in this book, Boundless, is called Limitless and Lucy, Nootropics, Smart Drugs, and Psychedelics. It is the 5th chapter in this book. And so, yeah, the section that I am going to read to us is called Microdosing with Psilocybin. However, if you are a little interested in purchasing this book, he talks about microdosing not only with psilocybin, but microdosing with LSD, microdosing with ibogaine, microdosing with ketamine. And yeah, he gives a little disclaimer, a warning, what's a good combinations to have these psychedelics with, meaning the meals throughout the day, the things you should be consuming liquid wise, and etc., what type of supplements to take to replenish whatever neurotransmitters may deplete during these psychedelic microdosing journeys, you feel me? So yeah, this book is really, really good, and I highly recommend it to get a much more greater depth of knowledge and understanding behind microdosing with psychedelics, you feel me? Because you want to have a good knowledge base and understanding behind microdosing with psychedelics, because you are messing with neurochemistry, with brain chemistry, you feel me? We don't want to take psychedelics lightly. I don't give a shit what experiences you've had in your past, and if anyone's ever told you that is good or wrong to take that amount of dosage, and even if you've had a good experience, if that is a good thing, you feel me? If that made any sense. So in other words, what I'm saying is, just because you've microdosed with psilocybin in the past and have had a good experience doesn't mean it's going to be a good thing the next time you microdose with it. And it doesn't mean just because you had a good experience one time, it's okay to do it every single day or microdose or every other day. You feel me? You got to do it intelligently, meaning have a great understanding and knowledge behind what happens physiologically when you consume psychedelics, meaning what happens to your brain and your physical body in the internal world realm when we take these psychedelics. What gets released, what gets triggered. Well, when we take psilocybin, a lot of serotonin and dopamine gets triggered and released and dumped out within the brain. So that leads us to know we need to replenish that so we can remain in homeostasis and be sane and remain our normal self. You feel me? With enthusiasm, passion and drive for life, and motivation and inspiration. You feel me? Naturally emitting and projecting, emanating from us. You feel me? These emotions and energies come from the inside out. They project from the inside out. But in order to sustain these positive emotions and to keep producing these positive emotions, we have to keep replenishing these neurochemicals that keep getting depleted day in, day out through whatever we indulge in and whatever stimulants we consume and whatever psychedelics we consume. You feel me? We have to be aware of and know intelligently that our biology is being depleted at the same time being benefited from taking psychedelics, from taking anything that benefits our physiology. Meaning stimulants as well. When we take caffeine, when we drink coffee, there's more negative effects than there is positive, but there is positive effects. You feel me? Positive effects meaning there's antioxidants that support our health in numerous ways, but there's toxic effects, as in coffee is acidic for the body, it inflames the body, and it dehydrates the organs, cells, and tissues. You feel me? So you have to drink more water than you usually do, and it actually ramps up the cells, making the cells work twice as harder, thus shortening the lifespan if you consume coffee/caffeine consistently. So that's just an example of being aware of what is happening on a physiological level when consuming a stimulant or anything that triggers unbalance and unhomeostasis. You feel me? So psychedelics trigger a lot of things that cause us to go off balance and not be our genuine normal self. You feel me? We might begin to tell ourselves a lie when we take psychedelics and tell ourselves, well, this is who I am and people just don't fuck with me, and I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. I'm a loner and I'm gonna rock that way. I am who I am. I'm gonna keep my head down, be focused, and just keep doing what I do. You feel me? No. Natural human instinct is to be open and social. You feel me? We attract people naturally in our life because that is the way we are meant to be as animals. That's just intuitively, instinctively what we are as human beings. You feel me? We're meant to engage and socially interact, but we don't necessarily genuinely feel those emotions when we aren't in a healthy state ourselves. You feel me? But it takes knowledge and understanding and awareness to know that. And so let's gain that knowledge and understanding and awareness together, you feel me, as we speak. So yeah, let's take some dabs and then start reading this shit. We're 8 minutes in. Shout the fuck out to you, fam, if you're already taking some dabs. I like to go on rants, but I like to get the point across. I like to really be informative and intelligent so we can make intelligent, informative decisions in our own life, you feel me? So we individually, whomever you are watching this, can become self-empowered as an individual and really take initiative in your life and be responsible intelligently for what you do. You feel me? Do things with great intelligence so you don't fuck things up and shorten your lifespan. You feel me? It's all about being intelligent and feeding yourself a lot of knowledge, because knowledge is everything. You feel me? Having a lot of knowledge will only enhance your experience in this reality. You feel me? So let's gain all that knowledge together. Whatever I learn, I put it into YouTube videos for all of us to learn. You feel me? That's just a daily reminder for you guys. Alright, let's take some dabs. What am I smoking up? Same strain as yesterday's video. We're about to finish this cartridge, so shit, let's finish it together. Fire OG, indica strain. You guys let me know in the comments what type of strain you're smoking up. Indica, sativa, hybrid. You know I want to know. Throw that shit down below. as well as the name of your strain. Shit. Let's try to take 2 blinkers in one. Big old hit before we exhale. Cheers, B. Sorry for the lighting. It is what it is. Sun setting. Shit, that was even shittier. Oh, yeah. Cheers. Woo-wee. Oh man, that's kicking in nicely, smoothly, the way I like it. Yup. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! 2 big ass dabs. That shit is hitting me. While it continues to kick in, I'm gonna start reading this little section from Ben Greenfield's book Boundless on microdosing with psilocybin. It's essentially just a little overview before I read it. It's essentially just talking a little bit about the benefits and I believe his experience and how he cycles psilocybin in his weekly routines. So let's dive into it. What does Ben Greenfield have to say? Let's read it. You guys keep smoking your ganja, hone in your focus, and let's learn some shit. Alright. Microdosing with psilocybin. Psilocybin is naturally produced by more than 200 species of fungi, otherwise known as magic mushrooms. Research from archaeological evidence suggests that humans have used psilocybin mushrooms for over 7,000 years. I have personally found microdoses of psilocybin to be best for nature immersions, hiking, journaling, and self-discovery. Psilocybin primarily interacts with the serotonin receptors in the brain and has been used in therapeutic settings to treat headaches, anxiety, depression, addiction, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. There is limited data to show any adverse drug interactions with the use of psilocybin, and liver function, blood sugar, and hormonal regulation all appear to be unaffected during consumption. However, to avoid any issues with significant neurotransmitter imbalances, it is best to avoid alcohol and serotonin-based antidepressants while taking any psychedelics. A psilocybin microdose ranges from 0.1 to 0.5 grams. Let me repeat that for those of us that may not know exactly what a psilocybin microdose is. A psilocybin microdose ranges from 0.1 to 0.5 grams. Not milligrams, not micrograms, but grams. 0.1 to 0.5 grams is a psilocybin microdose. I highly recommend you start at the lower end of the dosing range with any of the psychedelics mentioned in this chapter. For psilocybin in particular, you can combine a smaller dose with lion's mane, mushroom, let me reread that. For psilocybin in particular, you can combine a smaller dose with lion's mane and niacin in a morning cup of tea for a very slight sensory boost without any distracting trip or gastric upset. Let me tell you right now, I like to personally do this cup of tea on my off days of work. On my days when I have back-to-back days off, I like to do it on the first day off. That way on my second day off, I can let my neurotransmitters fully recover, rejuvenate, and rebuild and repair. So I'm ready to go for work when I go in the following third day, you feel me? I like to take this cup of tea on my back-to-back off days because it is my time off where I get to really sit down, become still and creative, and really go deeper into inner work and spiritual research, you feel me? So yeah, I like to mix some lion's mane, not necessarily with niacin. I get my niacin from just consuming beef organs. You feel me? Beef liver is high in niacin. Good natural ratios that are good for our body. So I get my niacin from organ meats. Essentially, I just make my cup of tea with some real butter from Vital Farms. If you're curious what brand I buy and what store I buy it from, Sprouts Farmers Market. I make a cup of tea with some lion's mane mushroom, about 0.5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms. So I like to go on the higher end of the microdose range. But that's because I've been doing it for a couple years, you feel me? So I have more of a tolerance to it, more experiences with it. I still highly recommend, like Ben Greenfield says in this book, that you start off at the lower end if you have not yet intelligently indulged in the use of microdosing with psilocybin and or any psychedelic. But yeah, fucking shit. Lost my train of thought. Hopping back on track, reading this shit. Interestingly, blue lotus extract, which is commonly known as an aphrodisiac, which is commonly known as an aphrodisiac, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's spelled APHRODISIAC, for those of us that may know how to pronounce that shit, but can also result in a significant release of the psychedelic compound DMT, dimethyltryptamine, by the pineal gland. Can be combined with psilocybin alone or the blend above for an even more pronounced effect that many describe as something similar to an ecstasy MDMA experience. Your pineal gland normally releases small amounts of DMT, but it is also found in some plants and can also be chemically synthesized, and when ingested in high amounts, it can result in a very noticeable ego-dissolving psychedelic journeying effect, while similar amounts have a pleasant nootropic effect. Blue lotus can upregulate your own production of DMT, or when taken with DMT, can magnify its effects. And then it goes on to say where he purchased blue lotus and or his psychedelics. Yes, in this book he gives sources to where he buys his psychedelics. High grade, pharmaceutical grade psychedelics, you feel me? And so if you want to read those sources, those websites to buy those things, you're going to have to buy this fucking book, because I'm not going to give that out in this fucking video, you feel me? Because in my opinion, it takes someone intelligent to fucking first invest in this book. This book is fucking $60. One, invest in the fucking book, investing in your own self, in your own personal development, because this book is full of a bunch of knowledge that's only going to enhance your physical reality and your personal growth, your spiritual growth. And so it's an investment in yourself. $60, and then to top it off, you have to read through it and understand these things. So it takes someone smart to actually get a hold of this sourcing of these high grade fucking psychedelics, you feel me? So if you're a smart motherfucker like your boy, I'm not in an egotistical way. I just fucking devote myself every single day to learning shit, so I know I'm pretty smart, smarter than the average Joe at least. Not to take anything from the average Joe. Anyways, then go fucking buy this book, you feel me? Go buy this book, read into it, and learn more than just fucking microdosing with these psychedelics. There's so much more. This is only the 5th chapter in the fucking book, and there is, let me check in the fucking table of contents, there are 21 chapters. Fuck, and that's only chapter 5. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. That is what Ben Greenfield has to say on psilocybin and shit. Those are some good benefits that he was saying. It helps with PTSD. If you suffer from PTSD, it helps with depression. It helps with anxiety. Those are things that a lot of us suffer with nowadays. Maybe not us watching this video, but us watching this video may know someone that suffers with these things. And it is good knowledge to have so we can help one another and be of service to one another. You feel me? So, yeah. Psychedelics though is another level. Don't fucking recommend that shit to people. That's a whole nother level. You gotta do your own research on that shit, you feel me? Even everything I'm telling you in this video isn't fully informative, if I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. It's just my experiences and my advice that I follow personally as well. And so my experiences, I told you guys a little bit in my previous video. My experiences essentially, I would say about 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I was microdosing irresponsibly with psilocybin like crazy. Meaning I was doing it like every week, pretty much every week, every other day, and sometimes maybe even every day for like 2 weeks. You feel me? Just psychedelics. But I kept it in check because I knew health played a role in detoxing all that fungus. But it caught up to me eventually, and I learned my lesson. And what is that lesson? That lesson is that I depleted a lot of nutrients within me. You feel me? And then I was just not feeling myself. And so, as well as looking really skinny and fucking sick. And so I started, obviously it forced me into researching to get healthy. And so I did more research, found out that I was depleting myself of so many things and not replenishing them through my diet. And boom, connected the dots, started replenishing everything. I'm back online. I'm fully energetic and myself, you feel me? And it's just having that knowledge of what's happening internally when we consume not only psychedelics but anything. Food, the ice cream you may be eating, the pizza you may be eating, the hamburgers, everything you may be eating. You want to have knowledge of what the fuck is happening on a biological level in the gut flora, in your brain, in your everything. You feel me? And your boy studies all of that, and I put that into videos like I said earlier, and we all learn that shit so we can all optimize and become greater human fucking beings, so we can all come together as a collective eventually. You feel me? So yeah, let's take another dab. 21 minutes in, pretty much 22 minutes. Cheers, B. So yeah, I used to take it like that, but now, that was about 3 years ago, right? I took at least a whole year, maybe a year and a half. Yeah, I would say a year and a half without ever taking psychedelic mushrooms anymore, you feel me? And then just learning so much, not only about psychedelic mushrooms again, but learning so much about health and nutrition, connecting so many dots, I felt the interest to microdose again. And so now how I do it is at least once every 2 weeks, maybe even just once a month now, you feel me? Only when I really have those 2 days off back to back from work and get to devote stillness and inner work, spiritual work and spiritual research, and pay respect, give actual time to these medicines, because we can't just consume these medicines with disrespect, because then you don't know how the trip is going to go. If you want to call it a trip or the journey or the experience, call it an experience, you feel me? You don't know how it's going to go. You don't even know if you take a high-ass dose and your spirit leaves your body. You don't know if you'll return. So have respect for these spirits, you feel me? You don't want to go insane. Go into these things with respect. So have time set aside, sacred space. And if you need a watcher, get a fucking watcher. But with microdosing, essentially, you don't necessarily need a watcher, you feel me? But give yourself time, space, and free things to do. Don't have a list and priorities to get done in the day. Have your priorities done and then fucking microdose, you feel me? See how you feel and meditate, become still, and do some inner work. Spiritually grow. And so, yeah, that's my advice on fucking microdosing with psychedelics, and that's how I personally do it and take it. And so one of you guys did comment in my last video on psychedelics that who do I like to study and research that is essentially kind of like spiritually oriented. And I guess you can say the only number one person, not the only number one person, actually there's 3 people that I recommend that you listen to, that put out great knowledge, that I personally listen to, that has helped me develop a great spiritual practice. Number 1, Paul Chek. Number 2, Aubrey Marcus. Number 3, Kyle Kingsbury. Those 3 mofos are greatly spiritually developed, and Paul Chek is just the number 1 in my book. Paul Chek, to me, is like the Albert Einstein of today, the Nikola Tesla of today. He, in short, he is the great human being today that nobody sees or realizes. And the genius that nobody realizes, you feel me? I really think Paul Chek is at that level, but especially with the things he's manifested in this reality and the service he's being and giving to everyone and everything, the service he's offering, you feel me? If you really look into him, Paul Chek is his shit. He integrates everything of what it just means to be a human being as a whole, and how to live healthy and happy and just vital, robust lives, you feel me? So Paul Chek is number 1. And yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave the thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. Leave a love comment. Let me know if you enjoyed it. And as always, live your truth, because living your truth is being of service to someone somewhere out there. And we all came to live a purpose and be of value and service. You feel me? So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.